some very interesting stories having to do with that. The first cut of the movie was terrible. It just looked horrible. The editing was bad. It just didn't play at all. Menachem Golan, who was the head of Canon Films, hated it. He hated Jean-Claude. He called Jean-Claude poison. That's his word, poison. And he didn't want to release this movie. And he wanted to do another script that I had written, and I wanted to put Jean-Claude in it. And he said, no, this guy's a loser. This guy's never going to make it. Well, what about Bloodsport? When are you going to release Bloodsport? We're not going to release Bloodsport in theaters. It's going straight to video. It's a piece of crap. Nobody's going to come see this movie. And I actually bet Menachem, Bloodsport is going to make more money than Missing in Action 3. That was his pet project at the time. He thought it was going to be the next Rambo. Well, at the end of the day, Bloodsport's still making money, and nobody remembers Missing in Action 3. It's, you know, it just kind of died at the box office. So, anyways, they re-edited the film, and Jean-Claude actually got involved and recut the fights. The fights in particular were really bad. There was an editor at Canon who was kind of a fixer, and he got involved, fixed it up. And then we saw the new cut, and we were ecstatic when we saw this new cut. Am I kind of running out of time here?
We're good. We're good for, I'll give you a cue.
Okay, great. We saw this new cut, and we were ecstatic. I saw it with Jean-Claude and Frank and Michel Kisi. Michel's one of the fighters in the film. He ended up playing Tong Po in Kickboxer. I remember we went to Kate Mantilini's, right near Cannon, and we were talking about how much money this movie is going to make. We were all making bets as to how much, because now we knew we had a hit. Menachem still didn't want to release it, but what he ended up doing, he took a chance on it, and he released it on the west coast of the U.S. only. So it was California, Washington, Oregon, released it in those 3 states, and it did amazing business, and then they ended up opening it nationwide, and it ended up then going worldwide. Actually, I think it opened in France before it opened in the U.S. And it's just become this huge phenomenon. And here we are 30 years later, and look at this crowd we got here. And yeah, you can all get it on, you know, it's been available on VHS and DVD, and it's on TV. And we did another screening of it a couple of years ago with Double Impact. We had to add a night. We had 3 nights at the New Beverly because people wanted, they loved this movie. So, should we do one more question?
Go ahead.
Okay, uno más. Okay, you, sir.
Yeah, how many of the fighters were like actors, and how many of them were real fighters?
Okay, that's a question. Since I wasn't there on the set, that's a question for Frank. Frank, what would you say? How many were actors? How many were fighters?
Actually, we ended up getting a bunch of guys who were real dancers. I'm not joking. The guy.
You mean like ballet dancers, or like strip club guys, like Chippendales guys?
Chippendales road trip.
Oh, okay.
Other guys came from the base. There's a military base that we got there. Paulo Tuche is a very real fighter. He was a champion. The guy can play Perez in it.
Yeah, Michel Kisi was a real fighter.
So we had an interesting blend. I had quite a challenge, that's all I'm going to say.
Okay, one more question. Yes, sir.
Did you teach John to do the splits?
The splits? Jean-Claude Van Damme, that was his thing. You know, because he did study ballet as well as martial arts when he was younger, and that's something that ballet dancers do, and he just happened to be real good at it, and it's become a trademark of his. Any of you seen that Volvo truck commercial that he did? What was that called? There's actually a name for it, and it's been parodied. You know, they had parodies of, they had Chuck Norris doing the splits and holding up battleships, things like that. So it was called the Epic Splits, right? And that's become a trademark. And also, showing his ass in a movie has also become a trademark thing. And this is the first time he did it. It was in Bloodsport, and then we had him do a full-on no underwear, totally bearing it in Lionheart. That was the first time he did the ass shot, totally naked in Lionheart, and then it just became a thing with him. He would just, in Universal Soldier, they did it. They did it there. I don't know if you remember. The girl is searching for some kind of a hidden
tracking device.
A tracking device, right? And she says, "Oh, I don't feel it yet." And he says, "Keep searching. Let me know when you feel something hard." So they actually started making gags about it. But yeah, so that was the start right there. I think that was. Oh, we got a couple more. Okay.
We have 5 minutes. Go ahead.
All right. There, check shirt.
Would you have envisioned, when you're writing the script, would you have envisioned that played by some specific actors at the moment, or you didn't have anything in mind?
We had no actors in mind. Like I said, we didn't even know who was going to play Frank in the movie until Menachem and Mark DeSalle told us about No Retreat, No Surrender, and we saw that, and we knew that's our guy. Yes, sir.
How detailed were the fights on the page when you were writing the script? Did you get into like the minutia of the fight?
They were detailed, but then the choreography, generally, when you get to the set, the choreography takes on a life of its own. Like I do, when I was watching the film tonight, when the big guy who was supposed to be a sumo, when he hits the mat, I do remember writing that in the script. I wrote the sound effect in, which was whoom, he hits the mat. So we had, some of it was written into the script, but for the most part, Frank and Jean-Claude, and you had a few other fight choreographers there too, right, Frank?
We had Steve Lee, who's a Chinese.
Right. But just looking at the stuff, and because I know you two guys pretty well, looking at the fights tonight, it really looks like you and Jean-Claude came up with just about everything there. So, should we wrap it there? Should we? Oh, one more. He really wants to ask a question. Okay.
How much of the military aspect that's depicted in the film is real life? Frank, were you actually MIA, and why did they invest so much, the military invest so much in you? What were they investing in?
That's a long story that one's going to lead to. So I think, and we're kind of running short on time. But I think let's save that one for when Frank's got the floor and he's doing a Q&A, and he can totally get into that whole story, okay? All right, great. Thank you very much, everybody.
Hey, you guys put me down.